Hello, this is a one handicap game played on Foxxy, so half a point coming for white. Black won by 21 points and nothing really big died or any spectacular capture happened, so it was a very peaceful game, which is really unusual to see on Foxco server. So let's have a look. So we have a diagonal Fuseki, which usually leads to more complicated fights early on, but black switched to a peaceful way, just take the Shimari. Very good for white to remove the extension in the top. This is a pretty proper move. Also, white can consider just f17 to put more emphasis on the corner, but taking away the extension, it's absolutely fine, because that's the nice direction for black to extend from his Shimari. Now black plays a really solid move too. Black could consider already an approach in the top left to limit white's Moyo, and then either slide to follow up with a basic Joseki or invade the corner. But black is playing extremely tight and solid. So white took away this middle side extension, which is also good. So if white plays, for example, a Shimari like O4, black will probably extend on the right side all the way to Q9 or R9 in order to prevent a nice extension there. And then from O4, white can extend K3, J3. So in two steps, white is going to build the bottom side and also remove black's extension on the bottom area. If black extends K3, then white is happy to extend on the right side at Q10, which is also good. So this could happen. But if white plays, for example, Q6, black would probably immediately take K3. Then when white extends R10, black will go for the left side. Because in the top, when white extends towards the Shimari at N17, black still has room to extend on the right side. And vice versa, like R13, black can extend in the top. Anyway, K4 is a pretty large point too. And now black extends, it's a bit questionable to have this extension on the right side. Black can extend R9, R10, or approach the corner first at R6 and then extend back to R9 or even go high, Q9, to alternate a little bit third line with fourth line. But playing all the way here to R8, this leaves an invasion point at R10. But maybe black was already prepared to set up a base like this, and if white makes a base, continue attacking the corner. But it's absolutely fine for white to block this R6, and now black needs to go back to uh, reinforce the right side. So white plays a large point too. In fact, here it's quite big to play N17 to limit black's expansion in the top. So if white plays here, which black just protected, that's okay. Then white adds another move on the bottom side. Let's say white plays c14, so just prevent the approach on the left side. Now black can extend it the top at m17. So black has a Shimari. He already got one extension on the right side, and now he got the second extension in the top. This feels ideal for black. So in general, you don't want to let your opponent get both extensions from the Shimari, because he will build a much more solid Moyo this way. Therefore, it's quite urgent for white in this position to play a move like n17, and this way black is not going to get too large of a Moyo in the top. So white played n3. Now if you look all over the board, on the left side it's quite big to play also, c14, because on the bottom anyway black can invade h3 or black can invade m3, so even if white plays a move to prevent the invasions, black can still come inside. So calm to jump out like that. Very patient play by black. Now on the left side, that's the most open area right now. So if black plays this approach and extends back to d10, it's much bigger than taking the spot at p8. Because even if white plays p8 or something around there, it's not going to increase the lower side too much, and it's still not that urgent compared to the other open spaces on the board. So this was a little bit slack to play a one space jump on the right side. Now white should still think about c14 and of course n17. Playing c10, it's kind of inviting black into the sun, so White has a double wing formation here, a start point with two extensions to the middle of the sides. So in this kind of situation, black will always play the sun-sun invasion right away. Therefore, when white plays a move like c14, this discourages black to invade the sun-sun, because now white is much stronger. So in order to live in the corner, black needs a co-fight. Therefore, black is not going to be too brave to go in the sun-sun right away. So like this, black can live in the corner. Or well, when the double Hane Joseki is played, it's a trade. So black lost the two stones in the corner, but got the Ponuki in the top and separates k17. Now here it's more interesting to push. White needs a base, and then black can extract the stones in the top and Hane once to reduce the moyo this way. And now let's look all over the place. Invade h3. Play like this, it's a too direct attack on k17 and is not going to be very successful. White can push, turn, and then extend to make a base. So black will just end up a little over concentrated in the top. But if black pushes here and white reinforces the bottom, for example, now black attacks very nice from the top side. So playing f7, f16, it's a much more powerful move for black in this case. Also in the top, black can consider the Hane and cut this way and go for the Ponuki on the left side, because this way it's not so easy for white to settle his c10. So c10 now, if white makes a one space jump, it's a very tiny and over concentrated base. Therefore white can consider to jump out in the center, but again white is just on the run. So this result would be a little more positive for black. But black went for the top side, which is the basic variation. And white extends right away. It's actually good to push one time. If black pulls back, white can push again. Black will pull back one more time and then extend. And now black's formation in the top is not completely alive. If that group gets surrounded later, it's going to die. So like this, black can just block J17, and it still puts a lot of pressure on white's group, and black is much stronger this way. White comes out. Black should consider Hane in the head of two stones. This makes puts more pressure on white. White has to play something like this, and it's a bit uncomfortable and also over concentrated. White will live, but it's painful. So if black goes down, white can jump out like this or like this. The block is a little bit too submissive. Interesting idea. This is a good move actually. So what black is trying to do with this point is to extract the two stones and then connect one way or capture the corner. So if white plays away, black will go down. If white resists, black connects here and the corner is completely dead. And if white blocks this way, black will turn and capture the two stones in the corner. So white has to protect with the Kosumitsuke. That's a very good move. Black comes out. Now the Hane here is maybe not very powerful. White should think about Kosumi in order to push that group into the wall. So black has to come out this way. The follow-up, it's not so great here. Huh? I mean, trying to cut like this and go for the kill, not so easy. Black can leave. But white is out also. When white plays the Hane like this to take away the I shape, black can just come out with Kosumi to put pressure on c10, which is quite lonely. Then white has to play some shoulder hits and run out this way. But black simply pulls back. Now this makes the group very heavy. And white jump. White can actually press more with this Kosumi. It's a bit more difficult for black to run out like this. So simply playing the one space jump allows black jump also, and that's pretty much it. Black escapes. So here white could profit more. Now white has these two thin stones on the left side, and in the top there's not much to attack the group because the Ponuki is very strong. So what white should do is just push this weak group into the top. Even if black connects, it's not such a big deal. That's more a connection on neutral points, and then white jumps here, and now there's potential to build something in the center. Playing like this, white plays from the strong group, separates black stones, but also keeps e10 weak. So black jumps, white jumps along. So these two moves are not going to build for white. They separate black groups, but the group on the left side is still kind of thin, so it's not so easy to fight actually. I mean that in this kind of fight, black is stronger than white. Now here it doesn't work to cut right away, but white can prepare this. Play a peep first, when black connects, then cut from this direction and either capture a stone like that or separate like this. Black will leave or jump out. Locally black can leave this way, but it's painful. And at least black didn't connect the left side. Now what happened in the actual game, and there's another option. So when playing the peep, if black just connects under, white will push through and then separate one way or the other. So now the two stones in the middle are floating again. Like this, if black cuts, white plays here, Atari, connect, push again. White will play this move to leave in on the side, but it's quite painful, and then black gets a lot on the outside. These two stones are very thin, and black is very powerful in the middle. Oh, like this, nothing happens. Black is connected. Black can actually connect directly. If white tries a cut, now there's double Atari and capture this way. So black doesn't need to play anything fancy. But anyway, black connects under, and then p9 is just a waste. So white jumps out, connects the bottom, should continue with Hane. And another no bit to keep connected. And then jump again in the center to make a box. It's okay to lean on your opponent's stones. Actually, black shouldn't play this kind of move because it's too easy for white to connect. Actually, in this position, white can just play g5. So for black, it's more interesting to invade h3, then push and crawl and connect under. This way, white still makes the potential in the center quite large, but white loses all the points on the bottom side. Playing like this, white can get many points on the bottom and connect the wall. This kind of move is not so great because black will push through right away. So it's sad to see the two stones separated from the other two stones on the bottom. It's just too powerful for black to push through. That's why white should play the Hane. Now here on the cut, if white becomes ambitious and blocks this way, then Atari under, then Atari again, and block here, it's playable, but also dangerous. How many liberties? Suck, suck. Yeah, black can go out here. White has to capture. Black will jump again. If white tries to take to capture this group in the center, somehow, the problem is black can extend here, then block on the outside, Atari, and capture two stones and connect the group. So it's not so easy for white to resist in this fight. Better just give up a stone. So Hane, Atari, give the stone away, and then make the box big in the center. So black push through, white jumps. Now it's better to connect J3 or J4. Less forcing moves for black after that. Here there's still RG with J4 and cut. This jump was good. So all the stones are connected in the middle. Black separates some groups in the top, but they are already safe. Yeah, this game is fine. And should also go up to make this kind of life. but it's also okay to play shoulder hit and reduce the right side. The Hane is dangerous, black and cut. So either no B or one space jump. Then when black plays here, block, black will pull back, the stones are connected in the top, and white is center. White can play this attach to give one stone bait in order to get into the center and separate P8. So I guess black will just block, then bump, extend and jump out. This way white builds more on the bottom side. So the Hane, black should cut right away. If white extends, black extends, and now Q14 got punished. Here also, cut and extend. Oops. It's much bigger to capture Q14 on a large scale than to bother about one stone in the top. Very good to play the double hanging connection. So black has been reduced on the right side. Usually here it's good to play Atari and extend. And now when black defends, white will play away. If black pushes here, white doesn't have to do anything right now. So keep center. But after Atari, white had to go back and protect. So it's like white plays the Nobi, black connects here, and then white just adds another move, which is a complete neutral point instead of playing bigger points like this. So black turns. That's a solid play in the center. So the center, it's never as big as it looks. Once black jumps at K11, it's difficult to build too much here. This jump at P6 is good. This block is dangerous, leaves too many cutting points. White should just now be L4. And then when black pushes here, block. Now yeah, black can cut and get some profit here. So black would play Atari, then Atari again, go down, and then simply connect with monkey jump. And this will kill the 3 stones. Because G1 it's already connected to D2. So give one stone bait here and capture the 3 stones plus the surrounding territory. This block gives white a chance to protect. And here it's better for black to go Hane, Atari, and then continue with Hane, oops, and everything in center. Well, later in the game, black was lucky to capture these guys, but he shouldn't. So when black plays this Hane, this threatens a double Atari. White should just protect G2. These moves in the middle are quite okay. Very big to play S7, both for white and black. So earlier, after this move, black and white can just play this one instead of allowing black to catch that point. Should always be alert and try to get those moves faster. And in this case, it's better to connect solid, leaves less cotreds because already the lower side is strong. Alright. Some pushes here in center. But it seems there's not much to do. The game was very peaceful. Actually, for white, the problem was to give up the stone on the left side in that fight. In fact, the direction of play was wrong, to attack from f14 and h14. Even that the principle says it's good to separate your opponent's groups, but the top was already strong enough, and the way white separates here actually helps black go out and attack the weak stones in the center indirectly. So it's better to push from the weak towards the strong group in order to strengthen and then build more in other places. This was supposed to be all white area, but somehow black got inside with those guys. So that's where white kind of lost the game early on. And it seems there was no way to recover. Here if white blocks, black will peep, white connects, black plays Atari, white Atari from behind, black captures a stone, white Atari again, black connects, white takes everything back. So actually the block works. When black connects, white needs to play K2. But playing K2, black can push again and destroys a few more points. So attach, make a few extra points in the middle. And from here on, there is only a small endgame. Oops, but another capture happened here. Tari Atari. Oh, in fact, white doesn't have to do anything there and wait to connect again. So after this Atari, white needs to protect. That was quite expensive. This block here, it's only 1 point. So when black plays the cut, white has to give up a stone. But like that, there will be Atari and Atari. So if white protects, Atari again and capture everything. Therefore, white has to give up some stones. That's very expensive. Atari take. Yeah, because it's also center for black to capture. He prepared the snapback. So for 1 point, black got what? 2, 4, 6, 8, about 10 points for free. Now we see why the big margin. And that was it. This move is really not necessary. Because, let's say black will pass. And white plays inside. If throw in, capture. If push, block, nothing happens. So black shouldn't add another move. So I would say the Fuseki was a little better for black in this particular game. And especially that fight on the left side where black separates the stone and builds a lot, very comfortable, and also comes inside the middle. So yeah, need to play a bit more active next time.